The 9 levels of income. Level 1, $20,000. You make $10 an hour. You know this not because you calculated it, but because the number follows you everywhere. Into the grocery store, into the gas station, into every conversation you avoid about what you do for a living. After taxes, you take home roughly $1,400 a month. Rent is $750 for a room. Not an apartment, a room in someone else's house, with someone else's rules and someone else's noise through the wall at 2 a.m. You eat whatever costs less. Rice, ramen, anything on the bottom shelf. You stop pretending these are choices. At this level, the number chooses for you. Your car has 190,000 miles on it. The check engine light has been on so long it feels like part of the dashboard. You put in $20 of gas at a time because filling the tank means skipping something else.
Everything becomes a trade. Gas or groceries. Groceries or the phone bill. The phone bill or the pair of shoes that has been falling apart since March. One day, you're buying toothpaste and a loaf of bread. Your card declines. Not because you're broke, but because an $11.40 transfer hasn't cleared yet. The cashier waits. The person behind you waits. You step aside and refresh the app twice. And something inside you shrinks that has nothing to do with money. At night, you search for better jobs. Every listing wants experience you can't get without already having the job. The trap isn't laziness. It's the loop. Work, pay, survive, repeat. The first rule at $20,000, you don't manage money. Money manages you. Level 2, $35,000. This is the first salary that feels like stability. You move into your own apartment, a small kitchen, a door that locks behind you, and silence that belongs entirely to you. That silence feels like the most expensive thing you've ever owned. You can fill the gas tank all the way. You buy new shoes. Not expensive, just new. And walk into work standing a little straighter than before. But in a city where a one-bedroom costs $1,200, $35,000 is still tight. The panic is gone, but the awareness remains. One bad month could pull you backward. For the first time, you start thinking about what comes next. The second rule, this is the level where you stop surviving and start looking forward. Level 3, $50,000. You're average now. Your fridge is full, your bills are paid, you can go to dinner without checking your bank account first. One night, you run the numbers. $50,000 for the next 30 years. Same raises, same path. The future looks survivable. Not exciting, not terrible, just survivable. That realization hurts more than being broke did. A coworker makes $80,000 doing similar work in a different department. Suddenly, you understand that the gap between salaries isn't just money. It's a different apartment, a different car, a different kind of freedom. At $50,000, you can see both directions clearly.
The struggle behind you and the possibility ahead of you. The third rule, this is the mirror level. You see exactly where you are and exactly where you're not. Level 4, $75,000. Something shifts. Money is no longer the first thought when you wake up. You move into a better place. There's a second bedroom, a real office, a kitchen where you actually cook. None of it is extravagant, but for the first time, you feel like you chose your life instead of settling for it. You book flights without waiting for a sale. You buy groceries without checking the total. People start calling you successful. But you know what $100,000 looks like from here, and this still feels like the waiting room. The fourth rule, this is where money gets quiet. And in that quiet, you finally hear yourself.
Level 5, $100,000. 6 figures. The number
everyone chases. You expect fireworks when you cross it. Instead, it feels like opening a door into a room with even more doors. Taxes take a larger bite than you imagined. Family members call more often. Friends pitch business ideas. Strangers tell you that 6 figures isn't really wealthy anymore. The lifestyle improves, but the emotional jump is smaller than you expected. The jump from 20,000 to 35,000 changed your life. The jump from 75 to 80,000 changes your options. And options without clarity can feel like a more comfortable version of being lost. The fifth rule: 6 figures is a door, not a destination. Level 6, $150,000. Life changes visibly. The apartment is nicer.
The car is newer, the vacations are real, but the biggest change is social. A friend asks to borrow money. The amount is small to you and enormous to them. You say yes without thinking, and they thank you in a way that makes you realize you're no longer standing on the same financial ground. You begin measuring life in freedom. Can you leave this job without panic? Can you take a month off? Can you say no to things that drain you? The answer becomes almost. The sixth rule: money stops being the conversation and starts being the silence between conversations. Level 7, $250,000. Now the language changes. You talk about tax optimization, asset allocation, and investment strategy. Your accountant costs more than your first car. The people around you earn similar numbers, not by coincidence, but by gravity. Conversations shift without anyone announcing it, and with that shift comes loneliness. You understand the world of someone making $35,000, but they can no longer fully understand yours. The seventh rule: the higher the salary, the smaller the circle. Level 8, $500,000. Money becomes almost invisible. You stop checking prices. You stop checking your bank balance. The most valuable resource is no longer money. It's time. What costs you hours? What saves you hours? What earns while you sleep? The version of you who once ate ramen between shifts would barely recognize this life. The eighth rule: money buys distance from struggle, but distance can also separate you from the person you used to be. Level 9, $1 million. $1 million a year. You don't say it out loud. The number exists in tax documents, wire transfers, and conversations with attorneys who bill in 6-minute increments. You sit in rooms where decisions are made, not because you're famous, but because your judgment and your capital matter. And yet, you still remember the parking lot, the $5 meal, the declined card, the fear that the loop would never end. That memory feels like a country you once lived in, familiar, but no longer home. The ninth rule: money stops measuring your worth and starts measuring your reach.